We are at the end of year 3 in the open mic universe, and we are closing things out tonight here at Backlash. And we've got our first of 2 championship matches here tonight to kick things off. This one, a Wrestlemania rematch. And it's going to be for the WCW United States Championship. Drew McIntyre, in his first defense, takes on the man he took that title from, who coincidentally is the same man who defeated McIntyre to become United States Champion all the way back at Halloween Havoc. These two, there's a lot of history in really less than a year that Jey has been in WCW. We can't not mention the 6+ month undefeated run that Jey Uso had when he came to WCW last summer. And here as of late, it seems like Jey's kind of come back down to earth a little bit. Some of that has to do with some outside interference. Some of it, maybe a little bit of mental distraction on the part of Jey Uso. We know Jey wanted The Rock at WrestleMania, and everything from the start of the year through the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, all of that consumed Jey to the point that maybe he wasn't 100% locked in, 100% focused in his title defense against McIntyre back at WrestleMania 3. And Drew McIntyre will take any opportunity to take advantage of any opponent who isn't fully locked in when they step into the ring with the Scottish psychopath. McIntyre again, the champion for the second time. Can Jey Uso also become a 2-time WCW United States champion by defeating Drew McIntyre? We will find out here tonight. Jey, though, will not be finished after this one. He will also be in our main event here tonight. It's going to be a 6-man tag match. He'll be teaming with his cousin Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins as they take on the 3 masked men that have been causing all sorts of chaos here in the open mic universe, as they have zeroed in on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and the family and friends that are closest to him. But before we get there, Jey with a lot on the line here right now in our opening match, as he looks to get back the championship that he lost just a month ago, less than a month ago, back at WrestleMania 3. Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, who walks out of Backlash the champ, and right off the bat, the Scottish psychopath not wasting any time. Again, one thing you can say about Drew, he wanted in on the main event of WrestleMania. Didn't happen. He shifted his focus, and he maybe saw a little bit with Jey of not really being locked in, maybe letting the disappointment of not earning a shot at The Rock at WrestleMania, and he pounced on it, and that allowed him to walk out of WrestleMania the new WCW United States Champion, as Jey now fighting his way back. And again, look, that run that Jey had to start here in WCW, you got to remember how his WWE run ended. He did hold the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for a short time until Ricochet cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, becoming the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And since Ricochet was from WCW, Jey, with the loss, had to come and take Ricochet's spot on the WCW roster. Now Jey with the crowd behind him. It already seems like Jey's a lot more locked in, a lot more focused here tonight than what we saw back at WrestleMania. Jey going to fly up and over the top rope as he takes out McIntyre down on the floor. And now McIntyre back in control. He sends Jey into the ring steps. This is where McIntyre tends to separate himself from his opponents. Doesn't let up, doesn't give Jey any time to try to collect himself and maybe recover as he sends Jey back into the ring. And now McIntyre into the corner. Claymore connects. McIntyre with the cover. And that is going to do it. Drew McIntyre successfully retains and remains your WCW United States Champion. Up next, we've got our first of two championship matches here tonight. This one for the WWE European Championship, and these two, no strangers, former best friends, former tag team partners. Champion Trick Williams defending against Carmelo Hayes, and Trick coming out here alone. We captured a little bit of footage earlier today. Booker T and Trick Williams having some words backstage. Book, who was in Trick's corner back at WrestleMania when he defeated Chad Gable to become the new European champion. A championship that his former best friend Carmelo Hayes had tried to win on a few occasions before, coming up short. And then in the lead up to WrestleMania, I guess jealousy just took hold of Melo. He ended up turning his back on his best friend Trick Williams. And then after the fact, after Trick was successful at WrestleMania, Melo was somehow able to talk Trick into giving him the first shot at his newly won championship. And that is what got us here tonight. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, here we go. And Trick not wasting any time. These two battled it out last summer, trying to become WWE Tag Team Champions. And it's kind of funny that once Trick kind of distanced himself from Melo, we see he found some championship success for himself. Melo still chasing his first championship here in the open mic universe. Melo gets out. And now Carmelo Hayes in control. Melo, who was undefeated against the former champion Chad Gable in non-title matches, unable to get the job done when the title was on the line. Booker T now out here checking on Trick, and then Booker T. What the hell is he doing? Booker T lays out the champ, the guy that he's been managing. Trick Williams looks to be completely out of it at this point. And Melo, now he's just going to pick the bones. Suplex cutter, hooks the leg. And we've got a brand new WWE European Champion, and Carmelo Hayes should probably send a thank you gift to Booker T, who turned on Trick here And that led to Carmelo becoming your new European champion. What the hell did we just see? Originally, the Fight Pit was coming here to Backlash for a match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Earlier this week, we saw that match was changed to an ambulance match. But since the Fight Pit was going to be here, Triple H decided to call an audible, sign this match. We are going to see Jordynne Grace and Ivy Nile do battle inside of the Fight Pit. The only way you can win is by either knocking out or submitting your opponent. Ivy Nile, a former WWE Women's Champion, Jordynne Grace, who will, we believe, officially join the Open Mic universe next week in our yearly draft. Over the past few weeks, we have seen her on both WWE and WCW programming, looking to show the management from both brands what she could bring to the table. She had a very impressive victory against Ivy Nile. That didn't sit too well with the former champion. She would then show up on WCW and attack Jordynne after one of her matches over there. And then Grace would return the favor the following week. So Triple H decided, let's give Jordynne one more opportunity to show what she can do in the ring. And that is how we got here. Like they say, card subject to change. This is one of those cases where that is the case. Nile now, one of the most dangerous women on either roster here in the Open Mic universe. But so far, what we've seen from Jordynne Grace over the last couple of weeks, Ivy Nile may have a run for her money in that department. These two now trading blows back and forth, chops going back and forth. Nile, a member of Team Angle, a group that earlier this year had found a lot of success here in the WWE. Ivy was WWE Women's Champion, Chad Gable, WWE European Champion. But over the last couple of months, they have found themselves in sort of a downturn. And you got to think that a win here tonight just might be what the doctor ordered to get Team Angle back on track. Now Nile lifted up into the corner. Jordynne Grace drives her to the mat. Again, there's no escaping the Fight Pit. There's no pinfalls, no disqualifications. She gets Nile up in a torture rack, but unable to get Nile to tap out. You think about how strong both women's divisions are, both in WWE and WCW. And the addition of Jordynne Grace to either brand could be a very scary thought for the women on the roster. Nile again lifted up in a torture rack. And 2 times is the charm. Jordynne Grace forcing Ivy Nile to tap out. And another impressive performance from Jordynne Grace. Just like Jordynne Grace, Penta, another free agent who looks to join the Open Mic universe next week in our upcoming draft. Penta got called out by the self-proclaimed #1 luchador in the world today. And I gotta be honest, I don't really know where Dom compiled that data. But I guess we're gonna go with it. He said it. Whatever. Dom and Penta here tonight at Backlash. Kind of surprised that Dom's despicable daddy isn't out here to watch his back. But who knows? Maybe Rey caught a glimpse of himself without the mask in the mirror. Maybe he's just terrified to be out in public. We don't know. Dom gonna go it alone here against one of the hottest free agents out there today, and someone that is going to be joining the open mic universe either in the WWE or WCW in just a matter of days. And the LWO, what a difference a year makes. A year ago at this time, Rey was the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Dom, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion. And Raquel Rodriguez, the WCW Women's Champion. Raquel, as we know, will be defending that championship here tonight. Triple threat match against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. But it's funny how just a year ago, the LWO was riding high. They were up to a lot of no good. But it worked. They were racking up wins, racking up championships. And now just really less than a year later, and they are not carrying nearly the amount of gold that they were just a year ago. Dom not showing too much to us here. May have made a mistake, a big mistake, calling out Penta as Penta again. If you are an official from WWE or WCW, you know what Penta brings to the table. But a win here against Dominik Mysterio as Dom tries to roll up Penta. Only gets a 1. This would be another big statement win for Penta. Now Dom not wanting to hear the crowd. He heads over to the corner, removing the top turnbuckle, but Penta rolls in. And he is able to capitalize on Dom turning his back. That was a dumb mistake on Dirty Dom's part. And he eats a boot for his troubles. And now Dom going for a ride. Penta with the cover. But Dom able to get his shoulder up. We've seen this. The glove comes off. The sacrifice. You can see Dom in a lot of pain. Dom slow to his feet. Penta driver. And that might do it. And it does. Penta. One last time to show what he is all about. And he gets the win here against Dominik Mysterio. In a match that was originally supposed to take place inside the fight pit, this one is now an ambulance match. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, former friends, former partners, formerly of the Judgment Day. And after Finn Balor's actions back at WrestleMania, that friendship is over. The Judgment Day is over. And finally, here tonight at Backlash, Damian Priest gets his hands on that Weasley snake. Finn Balor And here in an ambulance match, there are no pinfalls, no submissions, no disqualifications, no countouts. The only way to win is by placing your opponent in the back of the ambulance, closing both doors, and then they will be sent out of the arena inside the ambulance. Let's go over how we got here. Royal Rumble. Damian Priest, the men's Royal Rumble winner. He has his choice. Go after The Rock, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or go after AJ Styles, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Priest, a former one-time WWE World Champion, decided that he wanted to go after the championship that he hasn't held, and he chose AJ Styles. AJ, who had used his group of goons, Gallows, Anderson, Abyss, to help him time after time after time not only win the WCW World Heavyweight title, but also to keep the WCW World Heavyweight title. Management from WCW, knowing the trend, barred all of those men from ringside. So AJ had to go it alone. Balor in the corner of his friend, Damian Priest. And just when Priest was about to put AJ away, just when Priest was about to become the new WCW World Champion, his supposed friend, his supposed best friend and partner, Finn Balor, would turn on Damian Priest, sliding a chair into the ring to his opponent AJ, and AJ Styles would in turn use that chair, and thanks to Finn Balor, AJ Styles would walk out of WrestleMania still the WCW World Champion. That did not sit well with Damian Priest, and originally wanted the match against Finn here inside the fight pit. Balor would attack Priest from behind after a match. And after talking to WWE official Triple H, Damian Priest got this match changed to an ambulance match, stating that the only way Finn Balor was going to leave Backlash was inside the back of an ambulance. And while a win here tonight for Damian Priest doesn't make up the missed opportunity at WrestleMania, if he could hurt his former friend, it might make him feel a little bit better as he begins year 4 here after tonight. He can put this business with the Judgment Day, put this business with Finn Balor to bed, and then refocus on making another run at a world championship. Again, he got very close at WrestleMania. It was really, he was at the end. He had AJ Styles beat. And then Finn Balor turned on him and helped AJ remain WCW World Champion. But after tonight, it's a new year. And it will be interesting to see where Damian Priest goes from here. Balor now tossed into the back of that ambulance. Priest working on getting that first door closed. Balor fighting back, but not enough as Priest gets the first door closed and now onto the second door. And he does. Damian Priest with the win. And now he climbs up to the top of the ambulance as he celebrates his victory against Finn Balor. We've got a WCW grudge match coming up next. Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, and R-Truth taking on Gallows, Anderson, and Abyss. The WCW World Champion AJ Styles in their corner. And for months, This group has been a thorn in the side of many people in WCW, especially Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. Just a few weeks back, we were supposed to have a tag team match, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on Gallows and Anderson. Due to Jey getting attacked backstage, Cody had to go that one alone. It turned into a handicap match. He fought valiantly and fought till the very end, but Gallows and Anderson were victorious in that match. After the match, Abyss would come down to the ring, and there would be a 3-on-1 beatdown. Then Cody issued this challenge here for Backlash, and he said that finding two partners that would want to get their hands on Gallows, Anderson, and Abyss wouldn't be too difficult. And so he went to LA Knight, who back at Elimination Chamber came very close to taking the WCW World title away from AJ Styles, but thanks to some outside interference from Gallows and Anderson, AJ was able to retain. We go back to Starrcade. AJ Styles challenging Cody Rhodes for the WCW World title. It was a no disqualification match. And in that match, that is where Abyss made his Open Mic Universe debut, coming out, hitting Cody with a black hole slam, and helping AJ walk out as WCW World Champion. That also saw the return of Gallows and Anderson after their contracts ran up back in the fall. They are back, and they have worked very well together to keep AJ with that big gold belt. And R-Truth, hey, Truth has been Mr. WCW over the last 6 months. He was a member of Team WCW back at Survivor Series for War Games. And he has shown time and time again to have the back of Jey Uso, to have the back of Cody Rhodes. And here tonight, he joins LA Knight and Cody as they look to get a little bit of revenge here against Gallows, Anderson, and Abyss. Obviously, we know with the draft coming up this week, AJ's not going anywhere. Champions in each brand not able to be drafted, so we know AJ will still be here in WCW, but there's always the possibility that WWE could potentially draft Abyss or Gallows and Anderson, or split up Gallows and Anderson. You never know. We know LA Knight also not going anywhere. He's the current WCW television champion. But could Cody Rhodes be going back to the WWE? R-Truth, another possibility to get drafted this week. Truth makes the tag. In comes Cody. And if any of these members of AJ's crew, if they were to get drafted over to WWE, that would definitely take away that advantage that he's had over these last few months. So knowing AJ the way that we do, you know he's got to be politicking Eric Bischoff and the other members of the WCW management team that he needs his guys to remain here in WCW. And at the same time, I'm sure he would love if Cody would get drafted over to the WWE. Cody last year, the first overall pick in the draft. Coming over to WCW, and this year here in WCW has been a good one. Gallows able to come in and stop the count. Crossroads, Cody with the cover. And now Abyss in, and he breaks the count. Cody makes the tag. R-Truth back in there. Truth and Anderson, actually the two that started this match. Lie detector connects. Truth hits little Jimmy. And now drags Carl Anderson away from the ropes. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg. And R-Truth, LA Knight, and Cody Rhodes, your winners as they defeat AJ's Goon Squad of Abyss, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. And you got to think that's not going to make the WCW champ happy. But a big win for these three here at Backlash. It's time for our second championship match of the night. This one, a triple threat match for the WCW Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and champion Raquel Rodriguez. Over the last few months, there has been a lot of bad blood between Bianca and Jade. And the one person who's benefited the most from that is our champion, Raquel Rodriguez. Let's go back to Starrcade. Bianca challenging Raquel for the WCW Women's Championship. And knowing all too well how the LWO operates, Bianca's best friend, Jade, would be in her corner. And Bianca was about to put Raquel away and become the new champion when Jade would hit the ring and attack Bianca, disqualifying Raquel, and the championship would stay around her waist. That betrayal went deeper than best friends. These two were like sisters, and Jade threw it all away out of jealousy. Jade has had some big moments here in the open mic universe. Back at WrestleMania 1, she was the winner of the first China Memorial Battle Royal. But anytime Jade has had a championship opportunity, she's come up short. Bianca has had big moments in the open mic universe as well. The winner of the first Royal Rumble. This past year's Miss Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And a former WWE Women's Champion. And at a point, I guess Jade had had enough. And she would turn on Bianca, costing her her big opportunity back at Starrcade. Neither woman would win the Royal Rumble, but then at the Elimination Chamber, Jade would come up big and win the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which meant she got an opportunity at Raquel Rodriguez at WrestleMania 3. And finally, Jade looked like she was going to walk out of WrestleMania, finally winning her first championship. And then Bianca's music would hit. Bianca would come from behind, hit Jade with a KOD, and that would allow Raquel to pin Jade and walk out still champion. WCW official Eric Bischoff had seen enough. Knowing that Raquel was the only one benefiting from all of this, he made this match here at Backlash a triple threat involving both Bianca and Jade, eliminating the possibility that either lady could get involved and cost the other one in this match. So now Raquel, with all that advantage, basically is at a champion's disadvantage here. Because she does not have to be pinned. She does not have to be submitted to lose her championship here. In a triple threat match, Jade can pin Bianca. Bianca can pin Jade. And they walk out the new WCW Women's Champion. Most of the time, the champion has the advantage, and we have seen that from Raquel. She has taken advantage of that multiple times over the last few months. And here tonight, she could not be involved in the final decision in this match, and she walks out of Backlash no longer the WCW Women's Champion. And because this is a triple threat, there are no disqualifications. Anything goes here. There are no countouts. Weapons are allowed. So we are going to have a winner tonight. We will see who walks out with the WCW Women's Championship. Jaded. There from Jade Cargill, goes for the cover. But Raquel right there to break it up. Now sends Jade into the ropes. All three of these ladies, some of the strongest women in the open mic universe, regardless of brand. Bianca breaks up the count. Now Jade using the corner to try to get to her feet, but Bianca right there with some boots to Jade Cargill. Raquel down. Bianca now goes and grabs a kendo stick, but Raquel takes it from her, and now Bianca moves out of the way. Now Bianca waiting, gets Jade up. KOD hooks the leg. This might be it. Only gets a 2. Jade able to get her shoulder up. Now Bianca lifting Jade up again. Raquel, now she's got the kendo stick, cracks it over Raquel's head, and now Jade. Bianca crawling to the corner. Raquel lifting Jade up. But Jade uses her strength to reverse it. Raquel now down. Delivers a clothesline to the corner, goes for the cover. But Bianca able to kick out at 2. Jade can't believe it. Jade now down on the floor, grabbing a Prime bottle. Raquel lifts Bianca up. Tejana bomb. And somehow Bianca kicks out. Raquel going for the cover again, trying to use those middle ropes. But Jade in to stop the count. So many close calls in this one. Now Bianca sent to the outside, but Raquel from behind. But Jade fighting her way off the champ's shoulders. Bianca down on the outside. Jade sends Raquel into the ropes. Big boot. Hooks the leg. And now Raquel kicks out at 2. Who is going to win this match? Bianca in with a sledgehammer. And just as Jade was about to hit Raquel with a jaded. And now Raquel again kicks out at 2. Bianca can't believe it. Jade to the floor. Kick to the midsection. Bianca pressing Raquel up and over and down onto the mat. Lifts the champ up now. Gets her on her shoulders. Flips her around. KOD. Bianca rolling the champ over. Jade now to her feet. And Raquel gets the shoulder up, and now we've got a fresh Jade Cargill in there. She has got the sledgehammer now and brings it down on Raquel. Jade now with the cover. And that's it. Bianca too late. Jade Cargill is finally a champion in the open mic universe. And she is your new WCW Women's Champion. It is time for our main event. And it's going to be 6-man tag team action. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Seth Rollins taking on the 3 masked mystery men. And this all goes back to the night after WrestleMania. A night that was supposed to be about celebration. Roman Reigns defeating his cousin The Rock, becoming WWE World Heavyweight Champion again, and putting an end to the reign of terror of The Rock and his bloodline that we had to endure for the better part of the last year here in the open mic universe. While Roman was in the ring celebrating with the fans, as we were going off the air, Seth Rollins had been attacked back in the back. We didn't know by who. Then later in the week on WCW Thunder, Jey Uso was set in the main event to team with Cody Rhodes to take on Gallows and Anderson. Jey never showed up. Cody had to fight that match on his own in a handicap match. And again, at the conclusion of Thunder, before we went off the air, we found out what happened to Jey Uso. He'd been attacked in the back again. Didn't know by who. Then later that week on SmackDown, Reigns had seen enough. He came out to the ring, demanded that by the end of SmackDown, whoever was responsible, he knew they were clearly trying to get his attention. And he demanded that they meet him face to face in the ring because he wanted to know what they wanted. What was this all about? Roman would come back down to the ring. Still no response from who was responsible. Then all of a sudden the feed was interrupted, and we heard from one of these masked men. And he laid out exactly why they targeted who they targeted and why they did what they did. And it's all about Roman Reigns. Well, then over time, these men wanted a match. They wanted Roman Reigns. They wanted Jey Uso. They wanted Seth Rollins. Obviously, Jey was already signed to get his rematch against Drew McIntyre, which we saw here at the start of the show. He told Roman he was in. Seth, without hesitation, told Roman he was in. And so that set up this match here tonight in our main event. Now, we still didn't find out anything more about who's behind these masks. But they clearly let it be known that they are not strangers to Roman Reigns. Roman and Jey and Seth have a history with these men. We don't know who they are. We don't even really know what the purpose is other than they believe that Roman Reigns is at the top of this empire of his because they've allowed it, because they haven't been around. And it's because they're not here that has allowed Roman Reigns to reach the levels that he's reached. Now, Reigns has had, as well as Jey and Seth, they've done a lot of things over the years that people would have some grievances over. Right now, they're fan favorites. Right now, they've got the open mic universe behind them. But over the course of their runs, they've done some things to some people. And maybe now some of those people are here to collect a debt. We'll find out. I guess we will see who's behind this. But clearly, these three men have a big issue with Roman Reigns and anyone associated with him. Super kick there from Jey. Another kick to the face. Jey should try to maybe pry the mask off. Maybe we'll get a peek at who's behind the mask, and ducks. Now Jey sent into the ropes. Blocked there from Jey Uso. Now reversal, forearm. Clothesline, Jey Uso down. Only gets a 2, Roman. Headed out there to break up the count, but it wasn't needed. And now Uso sent into the corner. It's been a rough night for Jey Uso. Comes up short in our opening match as he tried to regain the WCW United States Championship, able to make the tag, but then Rollins eats a boot. Rollins kind of playing possum there. He goes up to the second turnbuckle. But one of these masked men able to get out of the way. And now Rollins having that left leg worked on. Goes for the cover. Jey Uso stops the count. Now Rollins back to his feet. Blocks the chop. And Rollins not going for a cover here as he looks to get the masked man to his feet. Delivers a knee to the face, and now Rollins going up top. Frog splash. Rollins hooks the leg. And one of the masked men able to come in and break up the count. Curb stomp. And again Rollins with the cover. And again the count is broken up. Trying to look and see if we can maybe tell. I mean, these outfits that these masked men are wearing, it's really kind of hard to tell. Not really seeing any kind of anything that's giving away who they are. Now the referee goes to make the count. And I don't believe it. This team of masked men has just defeated Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Jey Uso, and the masks are off. That's Daniel Bryan and Cesaro and Dean Ambrose. What a shocking reveal. These guys work for AEW. We're out of time. Tune into Raw, and maybe we'll have some answers. Wow.